Hello, we are going to see an easy SQL question from Leetcode here. It's called, Students with Invalid Departments. Now, before jumping into the actual problem statement, let's understand these table schema quickly and have a look at its data, from given examples. Here we have two source tables. It's namely, departments, and students. So, department tables have only two columns, ID and name. The ID is department ID, which is primary key here, and we have a name column as department name. Let's also look at a few rows. Department ID 1 is electrical engineering and so on. Now, let's see the students table. It has ID, name and department ID. Quite explanatory. Note, here the ID is student ID, just keep this in mind. So to make it clear, we have department ID from students table, matching with department's table ID column. Now, since we know the table schema and we have a good understanding of the data, let's see the problem statement. Which is, write in SQL query to find the ID and the name of all students who are enrolled in departments that no longer exists. Okay, the first question we should ask ourselves is, which table or tables we need? Is the departments table alone is enough? Or we need the students table? Or we need both of them together to answer this? Here as the question says, name of all students who are enrolled in departments that no longer exists. This means we need both the table, as only department table knows which department exists, and the results ID and the name of all students is from student table. Now let's go and write two simple solutions for this problem in my SQL database. The solution 1 is with in clause. We write select from students. Why from students? Because the result needs student ID and student name. So that becomes our base table. So, let's put these columns in select columns with proper alias. And then we need to check for departments, which do not exist. So we write where department ID not in select ID from departments. Here basically we are checking which department IDs are not found in departments table. And we are done. Let's run this and verify. Good so far. There is another way of getting the same results. With joins. Let's quickly see that as well. We just modify the SQL query a little. Our select columns would remain the same. Instead of the in clause, we would use left outer join. We write left outer join departments on department ID. Here we need to be careful about join columns. And we need to use a where clause to filter out only rows which are not found in the departments table. And those rows are our result. The join matched rows are the student who has a department. But we need rows which do not have a department ID and department table. And that's all. Let's run this and verify. Hope you found this explanation of our solution informative, and the goal here is to help you develop a structured way of writing SQL in general and for interviews as well. Your support is highly appreciated. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.